welcome back to the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show right here in your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS.
And remember, our goal is always to guide you to personal and financial wellness.
Well, we thank you for joining us on this fine Saturday for another edition of the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show. For almost 7 years, we've shared with you what you need to know, want to know, should know about not just real estate, not but just finance, but also about your community. And today is no different, right, Gino?
That's right. And Don, don't forget to invite everybody to donandgino.com, where you can look at this live streaming button, which shows you in the studio live action of us, ourselves, and our guest here discussing things that are pressing in Santa Clarita. Today we're going to talk a little bit, not so much real estate, not so much, well, it is personal wellness. We always say it's guiding you to personal and financial wellness, and this is part of our personal wellness.
It's stuff that affects all of us, basically.
That's right.
So, and again, go to donandgino.com, click on the live streaming button, and you join our custom-built studios right here at Skyline Home Loans, our new building here. We're now, well, it's not our building. It's actually the Sunkist
That'd
building.
be nice, Don. That'd be nice.
but we took up the whole lower floor, so thank you very much for supporting Skyline Home Loans and our great team. We love helping you with the dream of home ownership. And today we brought in a good friend that somehow, fortunately for us, takes time out of his super, super busy schedule. Nobody's busier than this man, because he doesn't just run a real estate company. He also helps run our city. multi-time mayor, councilman, you name it. Bob Kellar is in the house. Thank you for joining us again, Bob.
Oh, guys, always a pleasure to be here. By the way, I am impressed with your new headquarters here. I recognize it's presently the Sunkist building, but the way things are materializing, I'm sure it will be renamed in a couple of years. It'll be Skyline.
Yeah, I like that.
I like this guy.
You like that?
Yeah.
That's why he's always been our friend. Yeah, it's been going well, but
Good.
you know, and it's just we fortunately just focused, and we're very patient to surround ourselves by great people that really care about not just our clients, but our partners and each other. Everybody takes care of each other.
Absolutely, critically important, and you're absolutely right.
Yeah, we have a great team here, and we love each other and hang out with each other and have fun together, and I think that's the secret of our success. So it's been great. We like going to work every day.
Isn't it interesting that, you know, one of the things in management now, you realize that skills can be learned, right? But you can't teach someone to be a good person. So part of our interviews is always trying to figure out, you know, is this a person that fits? Will they fit in? And if they will fit in, then we'll work on the skill set.
Yeah, we tried to help fix their attitude.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't work very well.
You know, it goes back to some basic, and well said, you know what, if your attitude isn't positive and you want to go to work each day, one is you're either at the wrong task and you have to find a new career.
There you go.
But I got to tell you, attitude's everything. You go out here and have a positive attitude, it's amazing what you can do in working with others and get so many great things accomplished.
Well, you're a perfect example of that. I mean, let's see, you got a long career, you know, serving our country, and then serving our city as a CHP, and then councilman, LAPD.
Get it right, Don.
Thank you, LAPD. And then multi-time mayor and councilman. So you kept busy on a regular basis, and we appreciate you coming in because you kind of get to see behind the scenes more than we do, of course, what's pertinent to our city and our town. And, of course, one of the hot topics right now, we do need to, I think you're a great person to talk about it, which would be our school safety right now after the recent shootings. I mean, it'd be nice to know how that topic's coming along and what discussions are going on right now.
Well, first of all, I think, you know, just a fact of life as a result of what happened in Florida. This whole country, you can rest assured, every school district is talking about what can they do to enhance safety for the children in our school system, and it's appropriate that they do. Certainly it's no exception here in Santa Clarita. I've already talked to a couple of folks that are on the board for the William S. Hart School District. They're certainly taking a hard look at their procedures and things that they are doing to see what they might do to even improve. You know, I'm a frequent visitor of our schools at every level here in Santa Clarita, and I applaud them because I will tell you, you've got to walk around half the whole campus to find one entrance to get into a school. You know, unlike when I was a kid, I mean, there was no fences up at a school.
Oh, no,
it wasn't necessary. But today, it is necessary. It's just a fact of life. And I applaud the security measures that they have. But then again, you know, sometimes it pays to revisit these issues and see what more might be done that will be appropriate to help keep our young people safe.
Well, you mentioned revisit, and of course, when these tragedies, and the absolute tragedy, especially for the families that are involved, it brings up, it reminds us of hey, this wasn't the first time this has happened. And you start remembering, Columbine and Sandy Hook and all these other, and you go, wait a minute, we need to really revisit this, as you said, and see if there's a way to improve, the safety of our children.
And if I may share with you, as an old retired law enforcement officer, clearly the occurrence in Florida with so many flags going up, and I recognize it's been talked about extensively, but it should be. Because I do believe that our law enforcement, whatever level you choose to look at it, but it was a breakdown there.
Yep.
This should have not happened, not with as many flags that went up with this young man as they did. And I know, I mean, you can rest assured that there are some people out there that had an opportunity to see a couple of things, and they're thinking, oh, I would have given anything had I taken a harder look at this.
Well, I think it's good then we do bring it up and we continue to talk about it, so more of us are pay more attention and more aware of our surroundings and what people are doing or saying, or even if it's our children or our neighbors. We all have, the ability to pay attention more, and
Well,
I think we need to.
Well, that's the thing, right? I mean, there's got to be some personal sense of responsibility that others have for this. I mean, this particular individual, not all of them, but this particular individual was a walking red flag, right?
Without question.
So, I mean, the kids that are coming out now and saying he'd introduce himself. Hi, I'm a school shooter. I mean, hello.
That's a pretty bizarre
odd.
statement.
Yeah, that's pretty odd. Anybody watching this? I mean, who takes that as a joke? I mean, that's...
And it's not to try and criticize people that have been in, whether it be the law enforcement or looking at the security of that particular school or what have you, but it goes back to a basic axiom. If we don't look at where we've been, how do we know where we're going to go?
Exactly.
And there's a lot of merit to that. So not to be critical, but let's, like I say, let's roll up our sleeves, let's take another look at some of these issues that we need to look at, and do a better job.
Have they talked about any additional precautions by any chance, or they're just starting to put on the table?
My conversation, it was not an organized meeting, but it was touching base with one of our school administrators and talking about what we might do, and thoughts having to do with additional security for getting onto campuses and so forth. We go here, there's this kid's 19 years old, and he's not any longer a student at that school, and he managed to walk on there, not only with a backpack, but from my understanding and reports, with a duffel bag in which he had that weapon. How'd that happen?
Yeah.
You're not even a student here. I go over to these schools here in Santa Clarita, and I'm proud of them. There will be somebody at the gate more often than not, at the gate that you can get into. And excuse me, who are you? And I'm so and so, and I'm here for this purpose. Oh, yeah. Okay, fine. Now go in the office and sign in, and that's good. I'm happy.
Well, yeah, because I think they're going to notice whether you have a duffel bag going into a school.
Yeah, I mean, so look, nothing's perfect. If you really are, unfortunately, criminals, and that's what this gentleman was, criminals,
without question,
spend time planning and thinking and seeking out and looking at the weaknesses in a system. So it's really tough to defend against that. I mean, it's so simple as you walked in for a good reason, and I walk in right behind you, and I go, hey, I don't even have to say anything to you. I just walk in behind you. I mean, it's that simple to exploit a system, because I know I went, at the elementary school, I have to hit a doorbell, and it's like a Ring doorbell with a camera, and they could see me, and they could talk to me, and they ask me who it is and what I'm trying to do there, and then they let me in. Yes. But if someone walked in behind me, I'm not going to interrogate that person. They're going to just walk in behind me.
Right.
So, we got to just be cognizant of what's going on. I don't think you could defend against it, but, I think, the biggest topic that we have to bring up is mental health, right?
Oh, I'm telling you. Right on. And the other one that's being put out there extensively and appropriately so. If you see something, say something.
Right,
yeah.
And that's why I'm glad we're bringing it up, and why the one good part of that it is being so sensationalized is hopefully more people will pay attention.
It needs to be, though.
It's good
that we are. It's good that we are. Remember the gentleman down there, and I mean that with no derogatory nature whatsoever, but in San Bernardino, it was a gentleman, as I recall, that came out that was a neighbor or something, and he'd seen a lot of things with these folks, and and once again, hindsight being 20/20, he said, gee, I just wish I would have said something. I felt that something wasn't right,
Well, it's so different nowadays. I mean, old school days, you knew your neighbors, you knew their kids and all that. Now, everybody stays pretty recluse, and if they are different, you just go, they're weird. or they're different,
Yes.
and you stay away as opposed to paying attention. And now, hopefully, a lot of us will start paying more attention again.
I mean, you know, it's interesting. Don, you and I flew a little bit this weekend. I mean, when you're sitting at the airport, I don't know how many hundreds of times I heard, if you see an unmanaged package, right, please say something. Please say something. If you see, I mean, it's like 150 times. It is programmed into us now that when you're at an airport, if you see a package by itself, to
Think
let
about it. How
somebody
much
know.
more aware are we in an airplane or an airport now? You
Than we
paying
ever were.
attention.
And,
All of us
there-
are.
and at a concert.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Exactly.
Oh.
Yeah. One of our own had to deal with that. She got shot. So yeah, it's very, very traumatic. All right, we have to go to break because this is a topic we can keep running on and running on because it's very, very important. So I think we'll touch base on that, and then we had a couple other cool stuff going on in the city.
There is.
And we're here with Bob Kellar. Multi-time mayor and councilman, and we're going to talking about your city. So don't go away. We'll be right back.